We know we got the dude until December, and they're just wasting these dates with Ron Killings and now a tag match. And then I'm hearing there may be a 6-man tag after the tag.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone with Vince Russo with the episode of Ready with Russo. There it is right there. Very nice. Very nice. Whoa, off the
What's up, Doctor?
Bounty.
What's going on, my friend? What is happening, Doctor?
Man, it's another day in paradise, as I always say, man. You know, when life gives you lemons, you turn it to lemonade, brother. So
yes, that's our motto, bro.
Yes, indeed, man. All right, let's talk about Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. So he made his return at Saturday Night's Main Event to get the pop at the end. This leads into another tag team match set for Money in the Bank between Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes against Logan Paul and John Cena. So Vince Russo, let me ask you this: if you were the writer of Raw at this time, or WWE period, and you knew that you only had a select number of dates for John Cena, would you use a date for John Cena for a tag match like the one we're getting at Money in the Bank?
Bro, if I know Cena agrees to a comeback tour, okay, and he gives me or gives us the time frame and how many dates, okay, bro, it's John Cena. So I am mapping out the entire time that he is going to be with the company. I am mapping it all out. I am presenting it to him. I am getting his feedback and his input, and we are off to the races. Chris, I can't understand for the life of me like why that wasn't done. And you know what? For all we know, Chris, maybe it was done to some extent, but you know, Rock says, I got the call from Ari Emanuel, we need to sell tickets. So maybe they just pull that Cena heel turn out of nowhere. But even if you pull that out of nowhere, Chris, you still got to plot out where it's going to go. You still, okay, man, we had a change. So instead of going left, we went right. Okay, no problem. But now that we went right, where do we go? Yeah. And it's just, man, we know we got the dude until December, and they're just wasting these dates with Ron Killings and now a tag match. And then I'm hearing there may be a 6-man tag after the tag. And my God, bro, like, you know, to me, it's almost like no respect to the talent. Bro, I remember, and I'm sure I told you this story, bro. I remember when Austin won the title. And Vince called me. We were on the road, and it was just Vince and I. And Vince said to me, Vince, from now on, 24/7, you are with Austin. He is your number one priority. Nobody matters. And I'm sorry, man, when a guy like Cena is coming back for his last run, that's got to be handled the same exact way. But again, bro, we always go back to the mindset. Those directions to me were coming from Vince McMahon. Bro, Triple H is a wrestler. Triple H wrestled Cena. So he's looking at it from a wrestler's point of view. And I'm sorry, bro. Triple H is not going to say, you know what? Cena was kind of a bigger star than I was, and he needs to be handled accordingly. He's not going to say that, bro. And like I said, man, to me, it's just a total lack of disrespect This guy's entire last year should have been plotted out.
That's a really good point. I think you laid out some really interesting points there. I do want to bring back something you said that's very intriguing. Specifically, do you think that the Triple H's and basically being at the helm, do you think there's a part of him that doesn't want to see anybody grow bigger than him in the business to have that? I mean, we talked about the Ryback effect quite a bit, and the whole point of the Ryback effect is that, you know, Triple H telling Ryback that there's not going to be another Cena, you know, past Cena, there's not going to be anybody else who transcends the business like Cena. Cena's full stop, nobody else. So Cena's already got to have, you know, he already has that, you know what I mean? Like he's beyond WWE as far as just being who he is right now. But at the same time, you said this a lot of times, like there's not really been anybody, arguably Reigns, but there hasn't been anybody post Cena that's really been not only a flagship, but has transcended the business as far as just like a character that goes beyond the WWE. And so do you see that in the booking as far as like, okay, well, I'll appease the crowd and have all these, you know, mark pop matches, but as far as just creating a character that's becoming legendary, who is that person right now in the WWE?
Yeah, Chris, I agree with that 1,000%. And I will tell you this, it's not a Triple H thing. It's a wrestler thing. I saw it with Double J. I saw it to some extent booking with Dusty. I saw it to some extent booking with Kevin Sullivan. It's a wrestling thing because a lot of times they competed with some of the people that are still actively wrestling. So there always is a little history there. There always is a little jealousy there. Bro, I remember vividly at TNA, you know, Jeff in the spot he was in, you know, Sting comes in, you know, Jeff's booking now. Sting comes in, Dixie pays Sting more money than Jeff thought she should have paid him, and that affected Jeff's booking. So they're looking at it from a wrestler's point of view. Like I said, that conversation I had with Vince, that's a promoter's point of view. Vince, this is our main attraction. Yes. This is the main attraction. This is how I need, you know, you to handle him going forward. But, bro, that's why I always say, man, wrestlers should never be booking, bro. I always say that. Them being involved in their own angles and stuff, 1,000%. But wrestlers booking for other wrestlers, bro, they're always looking out for their own interests.
Yeah, and you and I, we've mentioned different people that like we would push and we would put at the helm of the company just because they have more of a mainstream, at least appeal, and someone like a Karrion Kross, for instance. You know, this guy is absolute money, and it's like, why put your thumb on someone like a Karrion Kross, and you can be really shaping him to be, you know, that guy who transcends the business as far as a character is concerned. Because Karrion Kross, if you're basically prepping him and priming him to be that star, he's that type of person that will become a very successful actor, and he would credit the WWE for launching him and creating, you know, and giving him those moments and those reps to become that big star. So if anything, why wouldn't WWE want the WWE rub of creating a star like a Karrion Kross versus if he were to become a big actor? It's like people will now say, well, WWE held him back for so long and now he's doing wonderful, you know, in Hollywood. Yeah. You would want that rub instead. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, Chris, I was, I was told, I mean, not by an outsider. I'm just going to put it to you this way. I was told that Triple H does not like LA Knight. And you're seeing that, bro. LA Knight goes so far, then we pull him back. LA Knight goes so far, then we pull him back. And again, bro, that's the competition between the boys. I mean, Chris, it just boggles my mind because, bro, when you go back and you watch Vince McMahon, bro, Vince never put himself front and center. You can literally, bro, name the interviews that Vince did. You what did he do? 3 of them? The Bob Costas one. You could literally name them. He never put himself out there because to Vince it was like, no, I'm selling the talent. Yep. I'm going to put the talent out there. Bro, there's no reason for Triple H to be out in front the way he is all over the place. Bro, when you're opening wrestling cards with Sam Roberts, you mean to tell me you can't find a wrestler in your entire company to put in that spot? That's the wrestler in him, bro. And at the end of the day, that's going to hurt the company.